What is up? It is 2020 and it is time to get your shit together. Hey, what's up? I'm Gene Clark. This is Self-Development Quest, and today's book is Get Your Shit Together by Sarah Knight. For all my returning viewers, go ahead and smash that like button so that I know that you're here, and anybody that's new to the channel, well, watch and consider subscribing at the end if you enjoy the content. Before we get started, I do have a little bit of a disclaimer for everybody. As you can probably guess by the title, Sarah Knight drops a lot of four-letter words in this book, and she drops exactly 332 S-bombs to be exact in this book. So if profanity is not your thing and it offends you, go ahead and click the link above me and go check out one of my other book summaries. But with all that said, let's hop into Get Your Together. It's not just the start of a new year, it's the start of a new decade. And if you've made it this far into the video, well, I'm guessing your life is in disarray and you're ready to get your together. You know, sometimes just getting through the day, getting through our daily routine can seem like a struggle, and there's not enough time even for the most basic of tasks. Luckily, though, there is a solution for this cycle of ambitious goal setting that we always have, and the failure and self-loathing that comes afterwards. The advice that we get in this book gives you the necessary tools and tips to start following through with the promises to yourself. Achieving your weight loss goals, furthering your career, succeeding in those financial areas you want to succeed in, and even becoming the better half in your relationship. All those things are possible. In this book, Sarah helps us with a little bit of strategizing and a dash of commitment and focus how to achieve our goals. There are a number of excellent topics and a number of different takeaways from this book that I could share with you today, but there are three that I'll be bringing you in this video, and those three are today's RORs. I say it in every video, but I really believe that reading books is an investment in our own self-development, and I like to call those takeaways we get our return on reading, or RORs for short. Now let's not wait any longer. Let's jump into ROR number one: split large goals into manageable chunks. Have you ever set a goal? I mean, we're right here at the beginning of a new year. Have you ever set a goal and thought about all the steps it would take to achieve that goal, and then really stepped back and thought, oh, I don't want to do all those steps. How could I possibly do all the steps it's going to take to achieve that goal? You see so many videos on YouTube right now that's not about goal setting. It's why your New Year's resolutions are going to fail. And you know what? They are going to fail, and you're not going to achieve anything because you sit there and you look at this big goal that you've got for yourself, and then you think about everything you've got to do to achieve that goal, and it becomes overwhelming, it becomes too much, and so you just walk away. You walk away because it's easy to do. So how do we stop this cycle? Well, you already know the answer. The answer is easy. Number one, we got to get started. But number two, you start by breaking down your goal into those manageable chunks, those little tasks, all the steps, and then you start doing them. Think about your goal as a puzzle. Let's say you've got a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, and you look at it, and you've got all these pieces, and none of them are together, and they're flipped over, and it doesn't make any sense, and you're looking at the picture on the box, and you're looking at the pieces, and you're like, how in the world will I ever get this done? It's too much. It's too much. And you walk away. Don't walk away. Just get started. Just get started. Take a couple of pieces. Find ones that go together. Maybe start on the borders. Maybe start in a corner. Maybe find a picture on the puzzle that makes sense for you. It's whatever makes sense for you that can get you started. Breaking it down into those manageable chunks to get you started, get you on the path. Because once you get those first couple of tasks done and get you pointed in the right direction, that's going to build momentum. And you're going to start to see everything unfold just like you do when you're putting together a puzzle. And before you know it, that goal is in sight. And before you know it, all your effort is being put towards achieving that goal. You're not putting it off any longer. It's driving you. You see it in front of you. You know it's there. But it all starts by breaking down that goal into small, manageable chunks. ROR number 2, allocate time to achieve realistic goals. So you've broken down this major goal you have into these small, manageable chunks, but now you've got to find the time to actually get started. And you say to yourself, oh, my life is so overwhelming. I don't have time to do anything. You say as you're sitting here on YouTube watching my videos, or you say as you're scrolling through Facebook, not doing anything, or you say as you're sitting there watching Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu and not doing anything. Look yourself in the mirror. You've got more time than you think you do. You've got the time. You're just wasting a lot of it. You're saying, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. You know what? I'm just going to sit here and watch an episode of whatever. It's only 25 minutes. It's only 50 minutes. Oh, it was a long day. I really just want to watch a movie when I go home. Oh, I can't make it to the gym today. Oh, I can't work on my business today. I've just got to sit here and I've got to scroll through Facebook and just zone out. No, you've got time to achieve your goals. You're just wasting your time doing nothing. So if this goal is important to you, if this dream is important to you, then stop wasting time and allocate that time that you've been sitting there on social media, you've been sitting there binge watching whatever shows, and allocate that time towards getting those small, manageable tasks done to help you achieve your goals and dreams. And ROR number 3, spark loving competition. Those first two did go together because after you break it up into chunks, then you got to get started and you got to find the time to get started. This one, spark some loving competition, that one seems to not be as related, and it's not, but this one kind of hit home for me personally. See, my wife and I are very competitive. We love each other and we're always there for each other, but put us in some kind of competition and we don't necessarily want to be on the same team. If we are, we want to dominate everybody, but we also love competing with each other, specifically with board games and fantasy football. I mean, we'll even do this with driving home from a restaurant. If we both go drive to a restaurant, or if we're driving home from the kids' school and we're both there in our own cars for some reason, we might take different ways home just to see who gets home first, just to see who has bragging rights. And you know what? Leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know, do you have these kind of competitive streaks with your spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever? Do y'all get competitive on little things? Because like I said, I know me and my wife do. Now, this isn't exactly the same kind of competition that Sarah talks about, but this is kind of my takeaway from it, because competing with one another, that keeps that spark there, that keeps that unknown factor there. And for us, it's very much all about bragging rights, all about I won, you lost, I'm gonna hold it over your head and I'm gonna laugh that you didn't beat me. And it works for us. I mean, I don't know if that works for everybody, maybe we're just weird, but it works for us because we can kind of walk away from that and say, oh, okay, yeah, what do you wanna do? Oh, I love you, this and that. But man, put us in some arena and it's like, okay, the gloves are off, let's do this. And those competitive juices just get flowing. And I guess that's probably some form of therapy subconsciously. I don't know. That's a little too deep for me. But in the loving competition, how Sarah talks about it is pushing each other in your relationship to be better. Not necessarily at board games or see who can drive home faster or take the faster way, but just pushing each other to be better in the relationship, be better in your careers, become a better person. Whatever that is you've got somebody, you've got that life partner there with you, pushing you to be better, become the best version of yourself. And so, like I said, while I relate more towards that competition, I do think, for me, I hope my wife feels the same way, but for me, I feel like she pushes me to be a better husband, to be a better father, to be a better provider, all of those things. And it just kind of really comes out when we get to playing board games or fantasy football. We've really gone off topic on this one, but I'm going to do it again. Let me know in the comment section. What is y'all's favorite board game that you like to play with your, again, spouse, significant other, your boyfriend, girlfriend? I know for us right now, it is Catan or Catan, however you pronounce it, but we love it. That is our game of choice right now. So let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear some suggestions from y'all as well. But back on topic, pushing each other, trying to become better, and that's that loving competition, just pushing each other to become the best version of you in all areas, not just in the relationship, but again, becoming the best version of yourself for your career, for your own self-development, as a parent, as a spouse, all those things. And that partner you've got in life, there's nobody better to push you. And now I got two more final thoughts. And I've already given you one reason that you may not be interested in this book. And that's because there is a lot of profanity in the book. But there are two more reasons that you may not be interested in the book. Number one, if you are not a fan of Alvin and the Chipmunks, you are not going to enjoy this book. There are a lot of references to Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. The personalities that each of those chipmunks have are personality traits that Sarah goes throughout the entire book. She ties a lot of things back because she believes that we're all either Alvin, Simons, or Theodores. So she ties a lot of things into the chipmunks. It's well done, and if you're familiar with the chipmunks, it makes sense. But if you don't like the chipmunks, you might not enjoy those references over and over. So the last reason that you may have a little bit of a pause when it comes to checking out the book, and I know for me, as I was reading it, I just sat here wondering, Sarah, what in the world are you doing? Why are you including these things? See, in the self-development world, I know that in theory, the books are trying to help people, and therefore you're trying to appeal to everybody. And I know with that, a lot of people leave out controversial topics unless they're relevant to the point of the book. Or unless they're just so passionate about it, they feel like they have to include it. I'm not really sure why Sarah included a lot of things, but it got way too political for absolutely no reason. I think the book could have been at least 10% shorter if we didn't have Sarah's random comments about how she felt about various political situations, which had no relevance to the book and no relevance to anything the book was talking about. And that was disappointing because I think it's a great book with a great message, but if you add those things in, you're going to alienate a lot of people. And when you talk about politics in a country that's very polarized right now, and I don't think that's just the US, I think that's really a lot of places around the world, you're alienating half the people that could potentially purchase your book or be interested in your message just because you feel like your opinion in these certain political areas matters or anybody cares about it. Now, Sarah will be the first one to tell you that she does not care about my opinion. She's just going to tell it like it is, and she's going to tell what she wants to tell all of us. And that's fine, and I'm going to just skim right over that. But if you're not into that, I would, again, avoid the book because that does kind of play a factor, and it does really start to get on your nerves if you're wondering, why is this here? It is not important, it is not relevant, and it's just making this book longer unnecessarily. So with that said, check out the book at your own discretion. And seriously, it's 2020. It's the start of a new decade. If you haven't done it already, it's time to get your together.